No, I
Yeah,
don't
Live
see a
now,
clock
yeah.
yet. Wait, let me see a
We're
clock.
live.
Are we live on
Yeah, we're
in
live. We're
Facebook and
live.
on YouTube, folks? Yeah. Okay, good stuff,
Well,
folks.
we're
A
live on
very
something anyway. It
okay,
just says
right,
live.
okay, man. Thanks, Mike. Folks, a very good morning, good afternoon, and Jesus Christ, don't do me intro. Don't do me intro. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, folks, and welcome one and all to wherever you get to watch this from, whether you're watching live or whether you watch us on replay. This is your weekly Mauls, Balls, and all live in the Facebook group Irish Rugby Banter and indeed on YouTube. With me, joining me is Matt Boland, Mike Reedy, and James Grennan, who is not using his normally reliable and fancy laptop because he lost his Wi-Fi during storm Debbie or wind or rain or something, or he hasn't plugged it in yet or something like that. And our guest this evening is the head coach for Bulgaria Rugby, excuse me, Romain Bansi. Romain, how are you?
Fine, thank you. Good evening, everyone.
good
Good
evening.
evening, Ryan.
Evening,
How
Romain.
are we all? Are we all well in ourselves anyway, gentlemen?
Sound.
Yeah, spot
Yeah,
on.
yeah. Matt Boland, are you in between feeds?
No, she's asleep. Well, she's nearly asleep.
Very good. Okay. Right. Well, let's get into it. Romain, I want to come to you first, seeing as you are our guest, and we normally would address the first question to our guest. Tell us a bit about the state of play in Bulgaria, but Bulgarian rugby. What is the scene like for Bulgarian rugby?
First, I have the pleasure to lead this team since 5 years, and I discovered the rugby in this country. It was just amazing because at the beginning, like how can I say that it was a disaster,
Oh, I
the
see.
level and the people and everything. But a big passion as everywhere in rugby. So short community, but strong community. So actually, since 5 years, we have a beautiful result and excellent result because we win 36 places in the world ranking with 14 victories on 16 official games in the European Championship. So I'm very proud about this result, and my guys, uh, go in the good line. So it's really good things for Bulgaria rugby since 5 years,
Okay, and
and
your last with
2 European champion titles in the yeah.
It's
no,
very
I was
good.
going to say, Romain. Sorry, that there seems to be a slight delay in the sound, but your last result was a good, a comprehensive defeat. You beat Turkey 40 points to 24. That was last month.
Yes, the
Wasn't it?
last one. Yes, exactly. So against Turkey, and it's the first game on this year or this season, and the season is a little bit different now. It's geographic groups. So we play against Turkey, we play against Serbia and Moldova.
So you have Serbia next April. You're at home
Yeah,
to Serbia, and then
yeah,
you're away to Moldova.
yeah,
I think that's on the
right,
4th of May. The 4th of May, you're playing Moldova. So
exactly.
how is that structured? How is the Rugby Europe conference structured for Bulgarian rugby?
The structure of rugby Europe or Bulgaria.
No, the conference that you're playing in. You know what I mean? Like we have the Six Nations. Then there's separate to that we have the URC for the club rugby. How is it set up for Bulgaria rugby and
Yeah.
Turkey and Serbia? And how are you all? Explain the conference to me.
Yeah, the Six Nations is like a private group, so nothing happening. But after, in the second division, so the real first one in Europe, you can play for the title and you can go down if you lose the group. So in the second division, we have Georgia, Spain, Russia actually not, but Portugal, and after third division, fourth division, five division, and every country in Europe who have a rugby team play in this division, different division, and the first one go up and the last one go down.
And where are you in that division?
Sorry,
Where do Bulgaria sit in that in the
actually the third one.
third one? Okay.
Yes, we win.
Okay.
5 years ago, we win the five. We are in the division five win, so it's like European champion for the division five. After we win the division four, and now we play in the division three.
All
Very
right.
good.
Okay. Very good.
That's progression.
It's progression, yes. And I was saying to you before we came on air, I think there's 35, 36 something rugby clubs in Bulgaria, and one of them is are called Murphy's Misfits. Do you want to tell people about Murphy's Misfits and what that team is about? I thought it's a great name.
The about the Murphy's Misfit stories.
Yeah, just their club, their background, what they play, you know.
Yeah, this club start with Bulgarian people, but Bulgarian people who go in the Irish pub, who call the Murphy's Misfit, and step by step they played with Bulgarian people, Irish people, England people, and now is exactly the rugby spirit with the big family of rugby in the world.
Yeah. Okay. But I know Bulgaria they as the squad they tried to qualify in 1999 for the Rugby World Cup. Then again in 2003, I think he got to round one of that, and again in 2007. Do you think you will have another go at in the next World Cup in 2020? Was it 2027 in France? Is that on your radar? Or are you still planning? Or what's your thoughts on the future of your own position and Bulgarian rugby as a whole?
The dream of the World Cup is for now it's just impossible in Bulgaria because the federation is not ready for that. Not enough people, not enough money, not enough partners. So it's just a dream. Of course, we work to play at the best level possible, but in 4 years it's not possible. And I don't know if one day it will be possible, but maybe in rugby 7 with women we have some possibilities in this country, but for rugby 15 it's too high, it's too difficult. You saw the last World Cup, the level is just amazing, it's just crazy. So for Bulgaria it's a dream, and maybe the dream it's too high.
Yeah. Okay. If I was to ask you, maybe this is maybe a bit unfair, but I'm going to ask you anyway. If you were to name a name, who is Bulgaria rugby's equivalent to, say, Johnny Sexton or Brian O'Driscoll, or would you answer that, or is that a bit unfair to ask the coach?
I don't hear the question.
Okay, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Romain, I think I'll tell you what, if you just try and reconnect, because I think we've lost your sound as well. I'm going to remove you. If you want to try and reconnect, we'll come back onto you because I can't. Yeah, okay.
I think I'm getting a lot of feedback as well there, Peter. So, but it's very unfair of you to ask who's his favorite child, for fuck's sake.
That's not what. Jesus Christ, gotta give it a go anyway. Hold on. I just want to see if it comes back, if it reconnects. Wait now, hold on. Hold on. I can't just see the sound I'm getting. Hold on, let's just see if I can get Romain back in.
Some desperate feedback.
Can you all hear me? Can you all hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking well.
Yeah. No,
Two
it's just someone
fucking,
said Pete's mic is
as
quite.
Romain- as
All right, okay.
Brendan
No,
says.
I just want to see if I can sort out Romain here because it's just the sound was just really bad.
Good evening, Mr. Martin, by the way.
Oh, hey, Peter. Sorry,
Good evening,
how you doing?
lads. Good evening.
Sorry,
How
Pete.
is it?
Are you well?
Hold on. Romain, hold on 1 second now. This is just going. Hold on. I don't know. I can't. I just gone. Romain, if you can hear me, can you just re-click on the link? Because I can't. I can't hear you. Sorry, folks. Hold on 1 sec. I don't know. I
Isn't
can't. I can't
Ro-
get it back on there. Hold on.
Romain is
Anyway,
he's
look,
not
folks.
better than
We'll
Kerry by any
we'll have
chance,
to
is
we'll have to just move on. We'll have to move on. The sound was just terrible there. I don't know what. Anyway, we move on.
he? Is he
Right,
on holidays
folks,
in Kerry at the moment by any chance?
it could be, yeah. Can I just before we go into the games? I just want to see. Before we go into the games, the little bits and pieces that were coming up. The news that broke there today. Peter O'Mahony stepping down as Munster captain. Matt Boland. This could be ominous for any associations to Irish rugby. What do you think?
First I've heard of it.
It's all
Yeah,
over
he's stepping
Facebook
down as
today.
captain of Munster.
I honestly didn't hear it, and I was out working today, and I'm just not on fucking social media as much anymore. So,
Well, give us your initial impression then. Peter O'Mahony's stepping down as Munster captain after 10 years.
well, look, I mean, it's a very hard decision for anybody to make after 10 years to step down as captain. I knew after the World Cup he was hurting after the quarterfinal exit, and he kind of alluded to the fact that he might actually be retiring. But I'm glad to see that he's probably given up the captaincy to somebody else more fitting to play better as a player than I'd imagine for the next season or two or however long he plays. It's unfortunate that he stepped down. He's a good captain, great player. He's dog tough. He'll fucking back anyone. Best of luck to him. You know, at least give somebody else a go. If he doesn't see that he can do the right job after 10 years, then you gotta pass the torch on to somebody else. You know. So
yeah. All right, fair enough. Mike Reedy, what do you think about this? Peter O'Mahony leaving his role as captain.
I didn't read the reasons or anything he gave for it, so I don't know what his reasoning for it is. But you know what, maybe he's taken the job as far as he thinks he can. So, and pass it on to somebody that's going to carry it on maybe for another few years. But I don't know if his intention is to retire completely or what now. But maybe not. I mean, there's people calling for him to possibly be the Ireland captain. I'm not. I mean, I'm a Munster man. I'm not in favour of that at all because it's not the future for me. We want somebody younger, someone that's going to continue on for a number of years. And I do agree. I mean, I've heard Andy Farrell say he doesn't give out caps for free. You know, he's not. He wouldn't be. I don't think he'd be sentimental. He'd be doing for sentimental reasons or anything like that. I mean, fair enough. He might be the best man for the job, but I think we need to be bringing somebody young in now and blooding them in plenty of time for the next, even the Six Nations coming up and whatever. So,
yeah.
But good luck to Peter O'Mahony. He's been a great servant to both Munster and Ireland rugby for the last 10 years. So, you know, I wish him the best of luck for whatever he decides to do.
Him and his gardening. Huh?
Yeah, he's probably going to
James Grennan.
brush the garden.
Yeah, yeah, it's all over social media today as well, and looks like he's gone back doing a bit of gardening. All right, yeah. The word on on our chat page at the back of this that Catherine is running there with some of the others is that Jack O'Donoghue might be the man to take over, which would make a lot of sense. He's the right age profile.
Sorry, James, I missed that. Sorry, I was coughing. Who's taking over?
Jack O'Donoghue, they're saying.
Ah, right, okay.
He's probably the next Munster captain. Right age profile. And Peter, then unlikely that if he's retiring as Munster captain, that he's going to be the Ireland captain going forward. And as as Mike said, we need someone younger there doing that job as well. But yeah, good luck to him. Hopefully the lawn will be as nicely sprinkled and he'll be able to keep it tip-top condition and give it its full attention. Best of luck to him.
Very good. Peter Martin, any thoughts on this? Does this bode for Peter O'Mahony's retirement?
I would say so. I remember reading an article there. I'd say it was probably around the actual World Cup or pre-World Cup, and he spoke about the preparation he'd have to do, for the top level, and how he mentioned, how difficult it was keeping up with younger players. He was effectively saying his body was starting to creak and grow, and he was finding it tougher physically at the top level. So, hearing what I heard today, it's probably not that surprising that he's obviously at the stage where he feels that at the very top level that he doesn't think his body will be able to hold up to the demands of the game. And I'd say that's why he's taken a step back from the captaincy, because obviously, there's no point having a guy on the pitch leading the troops if he can't lead by example, which is basically throwing his body into every, into rucks, and bringing the physical edge that we know he does, that he's hung his hat on for the last 10 plus years in an Irish and red jersey. So I'd say that's ultimately the reason that his body's screaming at him, and he's decided, you know what, I'm taking off the captaincy hat and it's up to the likes of Roundtree and maybe even Farrell to decide it's someone else to take up the baton.
How old is Palm now? 35, isn't he?
He's 34.
34, yeah.
34. Yeah, Jesus, yeah. Okay, fair enough. And who, Pete, I'll come back to you around this way. Jack O'Donoghue, captain, is he captain material? Who would you have, Pete? Who would you go for if you're a Munster supporter? I personally wouldn't have said Jack O'Donoghue.
I would have said, well, for a start, you need somebody who's going to pretty much nail down the position, his position in the team, and is a consistent performer. And obviously, Jack O'Donoghue is obviously, if, as James said, if he's one of the candidates, I would have said myself someone like Gavin Coombs, perhaps even Tyke Byrne.
Tyke Byrne, someone just mentioned Tyke Byrne there, yeah.
Yeah, as potential captaincy material. Tyke he's got the, I suppose from the age perspective, he may not be, it wouldn't be long term for Tyke Byrne. He's 31 years of age, to the best of my knowledge. But for provincial roles, certainly Tyke Byrne would be right there. He's got the experience. Well-established Irish national world class second row and back row. He's right there for me. But it'll be interesting to see who takes it up going forward.
Yeah, true.
Jack O'Donoghue has been acting captain while O'Mahony, when O'Mahony was out for a while. Jack O'Donoghue definitely captained them in some games anyway. But I'm not sure either now.
Thanks, Matt Reedy. Matt Boland, who would you go for?
I was actually, when Peter Martin was speaking there, I was actually thinking in my head Gavin Coombs would be the one for me. But again, as the names were being said, I think Tyke Byrne would probably be the front runner for me, just given his experience with on a Lions tour, a winning tour to Australia, a World Cup, winning the URC last year. I think he'd be the man, honestly. He's just got, he's got that kind of air about him to drive on teams, and just looking at him around the pitch, he pulls the lads together as well. So I think he'd be my favourite to take it over. Whether or not now he does or not, it's not really up to me, but that's who I'd like to say, I think.
Who's your choice, Peter Burke? Craig Casey?
I couldn't really give a flying fuck, to be honest with you. Anyway, go on, James Brennan, back to you. Who do you think? Just being honest, I don't care.
I don't really know, and I not really care that much either, because I'm going to keep me awake tonight. But yeah, there's a couple of good candidates there for sure. Yeah,
James, can I just comment on what you're wearing relative to the background? Was that by design or by?
No, that's
Jesus,
You just look like a wobblehead against a moving wall.
Yeah.
it was the only
a floating head.
room available in the house, and I just happened to wear this, so just accidental.
Mike, have you anything else to add to your interruption there?
Oh, sorry, I do apologize for that. I didn't know you were going around the group.
Jesus.
I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, I wouldn't be sure about Tyke Burno. I've never seen him as captain, as kind of playing the role of captain. I would think Gavin Coombs, because I agree with what the lad said. You know, you need somebody that's kind of a nailed on player, and I don't see him not being nailed on anytime he's fit. So possibly Gavin Coombs would be and he's young enough as well. He fits that age profile as you're saying. So yeah, maybe Gavin Coombs, I would think. But,
right, just a few comments there, folks. With Palm stepping down as Munster captain, gents, do you think it's a sign this could be his last season? I think we touched on that. Yes, I would agree with that. I don't know, does anyone else agree or disagree with that? Palm's last season.
More than likely.
More than likely, I'd say.
Yeah.
He hinted it after the World Cup, so I'd say he'll do another season internationally and with Munster, and that'll be it then.
Yeah. Oh, there's a controversial one there. Would Munster have a Leinster-born man like Tyke Byrne captain them?
For God's sake.
Absolutely.
No. Hold on, and we just have one more before we move on. Oh, this is a long one. What the hell is this now? Somewhere with that. Think he's been offered Ireland captaincy for November and Six Nations as a well-deserved honour for his contribution to the national team. This will take him away from Munster, so right to step aside and let the next captain be appointed. Can't see him in Ireland set up for the 2024-25 season, but he's proved us all wrong before. Or good enough to keep playing for Munster then, but possibly I'm after losing here. Where am I going? Possibly not a nailed-on starter. Great player moving towards retirement in a suitably dignified, honourable manner. There's nothing in that I would disagree with. There you go.
Des Nixon.
Where are we going? Des Nixon. Yeah, okay. Follow the script, lads. Follow the script. Good one. Yeah. Well, you know this isn't scripted. You couldn't script something like this. He's only contracted until the end of this season. He might have a French season in him, though. After that, I don't think Palm. Could be wrong now, but I don't think Palm is the French type.
Nobody's the French type. But if they throw money at any player, they'd fucking take it. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
like
if he goes to France, we'll have to call him Palm Fritz.
If it's his last season and he gets offered a fucking stupid contract, why not fucking go and fucking earn a few extra fucking pounds for a season? I wouldn't blame anybody for that.
What buy him more grass seed?
Exactly.
French grass seed.
French grass seed, yeah. Right, lads. Just a small thing. Oh, excuse me. Oh, that's curry is repeating on me.
Lovely.
Just something that popped up today. It's worth a mention because simply for its comedic value. Eddie Jones saying he said when he's talking about
look, I'll see you later.
Talking about coaching. It's just worth mentioning just the stupidity of it.
Can he spell the word?
He says I've got no time for them. Talking about for Ireland, Wales, and Scotland. He says I've no time for them. Having coached England, I don't want any association with Ireland, Wales, or Scotland. I feel like I'd be a traitor.
Oh, the feeling is mutual, Eddie.
He wouldn't be fucking wanted here, the stupid.
Swivel on that, Eddie.
I think the Brisbane Minis need a head coach, so he'd maybe go for that.
Maybe so. Anyway, I just thought to mention that because I laughed when I read that. So of course, I think we should
give Matt Boland the final word on this.
Eddie Jones.
Go on, Matt. All right, fair enough. Okay. Joe Schmidt, another small one. Joe Schmidt to Montpellier. There's no real huge shock there, lads. Is there? Fire away, jump in. I won't go anyway. Just say what you want. Joe Schmidt, Montpellier, any?
I had a feeling he was going to come back up this way and coach somewhere within like either France or England or somewhere. I know he's already coached Leinster and Ireland and that sort of stuff. I just had a feeling he was going to get a contract somewhere, and I'm not surprised that he's gone to France. All the power to him. Fair play to him.
Wasn't he? Okay. His reasons for leaving the whole New Zealand setup was to have more family time. So this kind of is a bit of a contradiction, but I guess if you wave a big enough check in his face, he's going to go anyway.
Money talks. It's like anything else. Like if somebody offered me a job tomorrow that was double the salary I was already on, you'd fucking bite their arm off to take it. Like it's like money is money.
Selling. If you're offered a job, selling wheelbarrows.
If I was offered maybe like 10 quid to show on a different podcast, I'd probably fucking take that.
Mike Reedy, James Gwen, and Peter Martin. Any thoughts on Joe Schmidt going to Montpellier? Or
I say good luck to him anyway. Best luck to Joe. He's a proper rugby man. He does things right. So I think he'll do well in France as well. If he can get the Montpellier, they're a half decent side. He'll do okay.
They are, yeah, they are decent side, all right. Pete, James, any further thoughts on this before we move on?
No, not an awful lot, really. Like I'm just,
all right.
I suppose coming back to it'll be. I'd be just interested to find out, curious to know how close Schmidt was to getting the job replacing Nucifora.
Was he in the run?
What was it? Yeah,
I'd be amazed if he wasn't. I'd be absolutely amazed if he wasn't.
I'm just amazed that he hasn't got the job if he was in the running.
Yeah, but did he want to come back over to this neck of the woods? I suppose if he's gone to Montpellier, Jesus, we're not that far away.
Well, that's it.
You know, I don't know. No idea.
But I'm actually surprised David Humphreys got that job. I really am. I know he's well respected, but I thought it would have gone to another Nucifora-esque nationality, i.e., not associated with the four provinces. I thought that would make whoever was going to be appointed to that job, it would make their job a bit easier because there's no favoritism or perceived favoritism, if you get me. But would you agree with that or no?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
Shout out. Yeah. Okay. Peter Martin, you're very quiet tonight. What's wrong with you?
No, I think there comes a point where the parish pump doesn't really matter. No, so I think like Humphreys has spent a fair amount of time away from the Irish game, like, doing his various different jobs with the England Cricket Board and all that outside, which is obviously a good thing. That's probably the thing that swung it for him in the end. Look, I'm hopeful, obviously, that Humphreys does takes the baton on and I suppose improves where Nucifora wasn't able to improve. I'm just surprised again, I suppose. Yeah. Just interested to know. I think maybe the fact that Schmidt was he probably wants to be back actually hands-on coaching rather than take a more technical kind of away, that type of role, that a technical performance director or whatever, the high performance, whatever the fuck it's called. Maybe he wants to be more on the paddock. I can only assume that's what he wants to do. So good luck to him in Montpellier.
Yeah, I got the impression that he was never really embraced by the New Zealand coaching team. Like he was never.
Yeah.
He didn't look comfortable within the setup.
He always looked to be on the periphery, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Remember there was a
he did, yeah.
A meme going around there where the guys were shaking hands and he was blanked. At one stage it looked very awkward, and he never looked fully comfortable in that setup, I thought, anyway.
Yeah, there's a comment in there. Joe had to end up in France as English club rugby is a flaming bag of dog shite. Scotland and Wales would be too hemmed in by the respective RUs, and he couldn't come back. He couldn't come back to an Irish province. You all right there, James?
What a time to read that comment out one just as I was drinking beer.
But couldn't go back to an Irish province.
Yeah, I played
has
in the
been
high
there,
press.
done that, couldn't find a better province than he already had. A lot of truth in that, I suppose. Yeah. Okay.
Dara Weston.
Dara Weston, yeah, no better man. Mahan Bukel. Now,
Nearly called
folks,
me to choke there.
Matt Boland, I'm coming to you first on this. This was another issue that popped up during the week on a post that I put up, and I simply put it up because it was in reply to an awful lot of people commenting on other websites and rugby sites and all this sort of stuff. Stockdale has 5 tries in 4 games. People were shouting from the rooftops, it's a Stockdale revival. I don't think it is. I really don't think it is. I don't think we're going to see Stockdale in the green of Ireland again. What do you think?
Well, unless something happens, the 4 or 5 other wingers that we have ahead of him, I don't think he's going to get in, to be honest. Unfortunately for him, I just think the momentum he had years ago when he had that great Six Nations where he scored like fucking 7 tries or whatever, and then he got injured. I think that just took the wind out of his sails, and then he lost the run of form. And then it's very, like, when you get injuries like that, it's very hard to come back to previous levels. It can take up to years. Now, for some players, they can just snap back into it straight away. But for him, I just think it took a lot out of him. And he just kind of lost focus and lost that good play that he had gotten. And I don't think he has come back to that original form back then. So I don't see him getting back in the team anytime soon unless something drastic happens.
But then why are people shouting, screaming, saying, he's on his way back, this is a Stockdale revival?
Look, he can score fucking 50 he can score 50 fucking tries. At the end of the day, he's a winger. And wingers score fucking tries. It doesn't matter whether they're good or not. I was a fucking winger and I scored tries. But like half of the time, if you're fast, so be it. You might do fuck all else.
But come here, look at. Everyone calm your tits. The tries he scored, 4 tries in 5 games, I'd have fucking scored them. They were walk-ins.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like at the end of the day, a winger, like excluding Mac Hansen, right? When he gets the ball, you actually see him. He fucking runs past people. He's getting into rucks. He's coming across the field to support on the other side. Stockdale just doesn't do that. He likes to just get the ball and like run straight, and if it's free, he'll score grand. Half of the time,
Matt, I'll tell you now, and James Grennan, you will more than likely agree with me, and probably everyone else as well. The 2 other things that Mac Hansen does, and he does very well, he goes looking for a ball.
Yeah,
and he goes looking for work. He goes looking for work on the pitch, and he can fucking defend.
Yes, and probably that's one of the biggest flaws for Stockdale is his defense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So look, I don't see him again getting back to it. I don't see him getting back in anytime soon.
No,
okay. As I said, I would totally agree with you, Matt. Sorry, go on, James.
The tries he scored were walk-ins. He didn't have to beat anyone. He didn't have to go around anyone. And the couple of times where there was a defender in front of him, he was taken down, he was tackled, and he made no progress. The stark difference between him and Mac Hansen can beat 4 international quality defenders and still score a fucking try.
Mm-hmm.
As he did,
yeah.
For Ireland, yeah, absolutely, yeah. Mike Reedy.
Well, where I see Stockdale, I just think he lacks more than he possesses right now. He has a serious lack of off the cuff pace. Like he just doesn't have it. He hasn't got that. I mean, if you compare him even to Balakoon is miles ahead of him as far as I'm concerned. He can't get in the Irish team.
I agree with you, Mike. Yeah.
I agree with you there, Mike.
I think there's at least 6 wingers in Ireland ahead of Stock. Listen, don't get me wrong. If we were really badly stuck, Stockdale would come in and play a game for you. But he's not. He has got to do so much more to get back in the Ireland team. Mac Hansen's miles ahead of him.
For that to happen, I reckon.
I just don't see it. I see there's 2 or 3 Leinster players, young lads. He's not very old. That's the thing, is he?
No.
He's only 25 or 26 or something like that. But even at that,
I don't.
I don't see it. I see. I mean, I see young Tommy. Is it Tommy O'Brien?
Yep.
Oh, I mean, he's to me, he's the real. There's so many. There's Calvin Nash. There's another boy at Munster. There's a couple of. I mean, obviously, Mac Hansen. There's miles, and even Balakoon is ahead of him. So no, not for me.
Yeah.
He hasn't got it. I mean, like
Okay.
James said, he scored 4 of the 5 tries he scored. God knows I'm fucking 61 and I'd have probably fucking scored them. And I can hardly walk, never mind run.
Matt Boland, the ex-winger, probably would have scored them easier than that.
Absolutely.
Peter Martin, your thoughts on Stockdale?
Well, I'll read out that comment from Ian Gilbert there. As an Ulster supporter, Stockdale is doing well, but still not the back top form. We're not getting the ball out to the wings enough, so Balakoon is a wonderful future, cannot shine. Yeah, look, Stockdale has time on his side. He's not where the player he was, as Matt has already said, but there's every chance that, you know, Farrell likes him and gave him a hell of a chance to get into the World Cup squad because he's a Farrell favourite. Farrell likes what he offers. So I would say that if the strike rate continues, I'd say he'll be very, very hard to ignore, regardless of anybody, whatever else, whatever any other wingers are doing. He'll be hard to ignore. But perhaps, you know, his form is okay. He's scored a few kind of, you know, walk-in tries, but like at the end of the day, an awful lot of what a winger does is confidence. And confidence is a powerful thing, you know, in sport, full stop. So I would say I wouldn't write him off entirely. I hear what everybody else is saying, but I just think, you know, he's 27 years of age. He's married. He's a child. He's still young enough to get back. He gets a good stretch injury-free. He could grow right back in and be really banging on the door. But sure, look, we'll wait and see.
I'd love to see him back at his best. I really would. But I don't know what he offers that Balakoon couldn't give the Ireland setup. I think Balakoon is way ahead of him.
Yeah.
Peter, is Romain coming back or what's
I can't hear him. There's a block on the thing. I can't hear him when there's too much of a delay.
Okay.
So we'll leave for the moment. But I'm just looking actually. Sorry, Pete, on that. The strike rate for Stockdale is it was a post I put up today. I just thought it was interesting. 37 tries in 104 games. Now we can break these percentages down, but then you got Tom Stewart, 21 tries out of 27 games. You know, it's not bad strike rate, but I would say what Ian Gilbert said there.
I would say, Peter, like when you're comparing apples and oranges, unfortunately, there with Tom Stewart and Stockdale's strike rate. I suppose the way it is, the driving maul has been a weapon of Ulster's over the last number of seasons. It was a go-to for scoring tries, so it's probably not an accurate barometer to measure. You'd have to dig an awful lot deeper, I think, in order to basically see how Stockdale does, you know, as a finisher. You know, if it's straight, you know, there's different tries that are scored by wingers, you know. Like Mac Hansen has that X factor that he basically is able to beat 3 or 4 defenders and finish, which is wonderful, and is, you know, that's what you want to see. He's a bit like, in my opinion, he's a bit like Penaud of France. And then you've got guys who've just got out and out, you know, straight line speed, and you know, when they're away, that's it. Once they've got 2 yards, that's it. They're gone for dust, and it's, you know, house private, family flowers only. So I think you just have to kind of, you know, get the context of measuring, you know, prolificacy, is that what the word, as regards for wingers and teams scoring tries.
Right, okay, on wingers, let me ask you all of you a question. Matt, I'll go to you for. Actually, no, James Grennan, I'll go to you first. Who, in your personal opinion, it's just a personal opinion, who's the better finisher, Mac Hansen or James Lowe?
Well, I have a natural
Thanks, man.
bias there, but even putting that aside, I still would say Mac Hansen is a better finisher.
Yeah,
Right, okay. Mike Reedy?
I would agree too.
I'd have either of them, but Mac Hansen, he's more of an all-around player than James Lowe. James Lowe is an excellent finisher. I mean, even the try that we got in the Six Nations against France, that was later said to be not a try, I thought it was a brilliant finish. So he's a very, very good finisher. And I think sometimes he can be a little bit reserved, whereas Mac Hansen is never reserved. He goes for absolutely everything. I love him. I think he's a fabulous player.
Doesn't know the meaning of the word, Mike.
No, he doesn't. He like you said yourself earlier, Peter. He comes looking for work all the time. He's always looking for the ball. He's even played scrum half on a number of occasions.
He's a fair man to scull a pint as well.
Well, I wouldn't have the benefit of that experience.
Matt Boland,
So-
Mac Hansen,
Yeah.
James Lowe. Who's the better finisher in your humble opinion?
Mike Hansen's the better finisher, and like I like James Lowe. I think he's a great player. He's a great winger, and he can finish really good tries. But Mike Hansen is ahead of him. Like there's he's just special, and I'm not just fucking saying that to blow smoke up Grennan's hole here. Now he is a good fuck. Like he's a great reader of the game. He knows when to leave his wing to support the other side. He goes after fucking everything, and he's not afraid to fucking try shit. Like you see, like skipping around fucking 4 or 5 lads and then fucking scoring a try. He goes for absolutely everything, and he's a great fucking defender. And for the size of him, he's quite good at fucking turning over balls as well.
I see that Matt Williams did a piece on him there, identifying how he tracks back and over the field. It was like to your point there, Matt. He goes everywhere. He's across the field. He's both sides. You can see him on either wing. No, James Lowe does that as well. But he's something special, all right. There's no doubt about it.
Oh, excuse me. Okay, folks. Let's talk about the games that happened last weekend. We'll start last Friday. Ulster were entertaining the Lions. Ulster winning that 24-17. Peter Martin, did you see that game?
I did. I found it an entertaining game. I thought young Scott Wilson looks a real prospect. That was a hell of a burst he made. Holy shit! Like he showed serious gas for a prop. Yeah, he's obviously he's got a fair bit of explosive power there, which is what you want to see, and he appears going by. You know, Ulster fans are getting quite excited about him. He seems to have it in the scrum as well. Rubbish conditions, of course, up in Ravenhill. But I think Ulster are starting to look pretty good. I think that for me, this season is a bit of a shit or bust season for McFarland, and I'm pretty sure Ulster fans will be quite happy the way the season has started for them. The performance they're actually putting in. Big Stu put in another good big performance. He seems to have come back from the World Cup with a fair amount of confidence, and is he's definitely talismanic kind of stuff, with centre. So yeah, good performance, good win in the end, tight in the end, all right, but good win for Ulster.
And they've your man, the Irish looking South African, joining them.
Yeah. More spuds.
So yeah, it all looks good. Yeah, no spuds. Yeah, Matt Boland, Ulster 24, the Lions 17.
I didn't see any rugby.
Boy, what's wrong? You all right?
I didn't
Were
see
you away or something with the
fucking thing. No, I was just busy otherwise. I told you already. I said I didn't come on here to fucking fill a space. I saw 20 minutes of the Leinster match. That's about it.
All right, hold on. Hold your wish. We'll come to that. Mike Grady, Ulster versus the Lions.
Just to echo what Peter said there about that boy, that Scott Wilson. I just wish he was a loose head, by the way, because we already have what's his name, Tom O'Toole, as a tight head from Ulster. Yeah. this guy is special. This Scott Wilson. He's the pace for that. Well, I mean, that break you're talking about, unbelievable. And he's good. He's a good scrummager by the looks of it. I mean, he scrummaged. I saw him scrummaging against Munster in his first outing, and put it up to that fucking Kilcoyne. He pushed him fucking all over the place. But good. Really impressed with Nathan Doak's start to the season. By the way, I think he's. I think he could be the knocking on the door now for an Ireland shirt. Apart from that, it was a scrappy kind of a game, but also deserved it in the end. They got 3 tries, and fair play to him. James Hume got a decent enough try, and he's actually playing quite well as well, James Hume. But we need loose head props, and we're getting all tight heads for some reason. All the top ones in Ireland are all tight heads. We have to swap some of them over. But
maybe so. Yeah, to do an Andrew Porter on it. James Grennan, did you see that match?
I did indeed, and I was looking out the window to see with the lights on the sports ground. The fucking weather was unreal. It was real West of Ireland weather altogether.
Shocking.
But yeah, I enjoyed it. It was a good game. It was a good watch, and I would agree that Doak was he was exceptional. He was very, very good in the conditions. He had a great game, and the Ginger Furlong hits off. He's going to be some addition to the Ulster squad.
He is.
Yes. Okay. Right. James Grennan, I'll come back to you for this one. Sharks 12, Connacht 13. Say you're a happy man.
Oh my god! What a game! The thing that I like most about that is they won the game, but they grounded out and they won ugly. It's something that Connacht would not have been. They would not have been noted for in the past.
No, they were shy, James,
and winning it ugly. If it was maybe 2 years ago, you'd have said, like, halftime the floodgates are going to open and Connacht are going to get a hockey in here now, and it'll be 28-12.
Why don't you just say they were shy, James?
They weren't shy. They were good. They were very good and played at a great game. So he did, and they were very, very good, and they played very, very well. Downside, Beelum is wearing a boot this week. He's a doubt for the weekend, and I'm not sure. We've 1 or 2 others that might be out as well. So it's going to be. We'll come to that one anyway. Go on. Yeah, I'm delighted. I was as happy as a clam.
Right, I'd say was there a drop of red breast left in the Grennan household?
There was a bottle damaged.
Yeah,
Peter Martin, Sharks v Connacht.
Yeah, no. All joking aside, I thought there was remarkable resilience shown by Connacht. The Sharks were shite, but look, fair hats off, bull of bus to the men from the West. The kit was their kit was fucking shite, all right, with the fucking pink sock.
Brought one of his Munster jerseys and threw it in with the wash. It looks like.
Yeah, it just looked absolutely cat. But anyway, seems to be a fair amount of fucking shite jerseys going around. No, look, that's the kind of stuff, like the defensive performance they put in. Scott Fardy's system is obviously starting to come together. The players are buying into it, communication, all those small little bits. And I think the way it is that it's a sign of a good team, that they're able to squeeze through on tight margins, and to do in South Africa is just it's fair play. That's going to make a massive difference to Connacht, I think, this season. They're going to have a huge season, Connacht, I think.
By the way, it's not their first win in South Africa, despite all the media saying it was.
I was going to ask that, James. Yeah, I was going to ask that. It's not their first win.
No, it's not. No, I can't remember off the top of my head right now, but I remember them winning before in South Africa. It's not their first win.
Yeah. Okay. Mike Reedy, did you see that game?
I've seen it. Yeah. I agree with what the lads said there. I'll be honest, I never saw it coming. I never saw that coming. And fair play to Connacht. I mean, the Sharks weren't brilliant, but you're still away in Durban, and very few, not many teams go there and come away like from the Northern Hemisphere. Teams from the Northern Hemisphere go there and come away with a victory. Fair play. I'm actually liking the look of Hanrahan at Connacht, by the way. I think he's doing okay. And no, he's doing fine. You know, he's doing. He's do you know what he's doing? He's kicking goals. Jack Carty fucking. Connacht would have lost that game with Jack Carty on the team. How about that?
Jack Carty is fucking Larry Letdown. Right?
Well, he is, and you know what? That was the difference against the Stormers last year in the semi-final or the quarter-final, whichever it was. And had they a goal kick,
JJ is Connacht's version of fucking Manny LeBock.
He's not. No, JJ is a steady player, by the way. He'll do okay.
He can't fucking. He couldn't fucking kick snow off a rope, for fuck's sake.
Fucking grenade thrown.
We'll see. He's got 100% kicking record apparently so far, or has he? Yeah. No, he hasn't. No, he's missed.
Line and fucking sinker.
But fair play to Connacht. I'm a big Connacht fan, so I'd like to see him. I like to see him do well.
There's a comment there from Ian Gilbert referencing the Scott Wilson. He said over the last 2 rounds of the URC, Scott Wilson has gained the most meters, 50, beaten the most defenders, 6, and made the most line breaks, 2 of any prop. He does the real deal, that fella. He really does.
Yeah.
You know? Okay, Mike Reedy, I'll come back to you first. Matt, I'm not going to you because you just said you only saw 20 minutes of the Leinster game. So when the Leinster game, the next one, I'll come to you first. Mike, Munster 10, Stormers 3.
Munster 10, Stormers 3. It was a dire kind of a game. Weather conditions, I think, were poor again. All I'll say is fair play to Munster. They stuck at it and came away with a victory. But there wasn't, a Dogbog scored just a close quarters try, a couple of penalties or a penalty apiece. Munster didn't score in the second half, but Crowley played well.
He did.
Other than that, the game didn't offer an awful lot. But fair play, a win's a win, and that's what Connacht and that's what Connacht and Munster and Ulster need right now. I mean, Leinster are going to get them anyway, so. You'd expect that's so. I think decent enough. Got the job done. That's all I'm going to say about it.
That's Dogbu. He's some fucking unit.
Oh, he's an athlete, an absolute unit, by the way. 20 years of age. There's some. That's the impressive thing for Munster right now is there's a lot of young lads coming through, which didn't do they never would have done under South African regime. They were like disastrous, and that's. I'm not going to lie. I have reservations about this fucking guy joining this Nianber or Nianab or whatever his name is joining Leinster. Is he fucking? He's not going to take Leinster back the way, is he? I don't like their brand of rugby.
He's not going to
take Leinster.
He's not going to take Leinster backwards.
I fucking hope not. Anyway.
I wouldn't say so. James Grannon, did you see Munster v Stormers?
I did indeed. A dogged affair. Crowley and Adogbo were the standout players for Munster, I thought. Munster did what Munster do. They ground out a win there in dirty conditions. But yeah, it was a win.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. Peter Martin.
Saw the game. Thought it was absolutely shite. As regards a spectacle. But Munster got the job done. Apart from Adogbo and Crowley, I thought Shane Daly was pretty impressive as well. At fullback, I would say outside, I'd say he has to be in the running now for the 6. If he assuming he stays injury free and he keeps doing what he's doing, and we know that Farrell is captain previously. When I saw Farrell captain previously, I don't see exactly what it is, but now I do see what Shane Daly offers. He's a brilliant defender, and he's good good on the ball. Like he's good. He's fairly decent going forward. So yeah, I think Daly will definitely fill the gap by one or two legends in that Irish team going forward. He'll definitely put it up to Hansen and Lowe. For a wing spot, or even might come in as a fullback either.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, Pete, for the national squad, who do we have apart from the obvious? But what depth do we have at 15? You got Jimmy O'Brien, can play 15. Hugo Keenan, obviously.
What was the name of that guy that? What was the name of that guy that played fullback for the under-20s? McAleenan or something like that. Is that his name?
McAleen.
I think he is absolutely. Where's he from? What province?
He's Leinster.
He's absolutely outstanding. That guy. That guy is the real deal.
But I would suggest. Sorry, Mike. I would suggest that 15 is probably up there with maybe one of our weakest positions that we have for depth.
I'm not so sure.
I see where you're coming from, Peter.
Who do we have? A dedicated 15. I'm not talking about putting a winger.
There's nobody close to Keenan. Like there's nobody.
No,
close. As far as I'm concerned, there's nobody close to him outside of Ramos in the world. So.
Okay, so who? Like the question I'm asking is, what? Like if you look at years gone by, Rob Kearney was a dedicated 15.
Yeah,
he didn't play in the wing, played 15. So what dedicated 15 aside from Keenan do we have for the national squad?
Well, there isn't really anyone there.
Unfortunately, Mike Lowry's gone back.
That's the other contenders. The other candidates are all basically slot in and out of wing. Like look at Ulster.
Yeah,
I think that's better. I prefer that.
They've Stuart Moore bouncing from centre to 15. They've young McElroy, who's badly injured at the moment. Then you've got Michael Lowry, who's another candidate. Stockdale can even fill in at full back. Then you go to Munster, and it's Mike Haley, who's a very good player. I thought he's injured at the moment. You've also got Shane Daly. Then you go to Connacht, and it's Tiernan O'Halloran. James is shaking the head. Yeah, he's
Matt Hampton can
fit. 2 weeks defense.
Like a dedicated 15.
There isn't any of the other provinces apart from Mike Haley at Munster when he's fit. He's the only other dedicated actual full back, isn't he?
And also Mike Lowry's gone off the boil because he was Mike Lowry looked to have great promise there like 2 seasons ago, and he's gone really off the boil.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, James. Yeah.
I would say, Peter, that the issue that Irish rugby has is that and much the same way with Andrew Porter at loosehead prop, we've got 2 world-class players there, 2 players who'd walk onto a world 15, but there's a massive gap to who follows in after underneath them. There's nobody right there pushing them, and there was an article in I saw today, and it's the God's honest truth. Like you take Porter. I don't want to change the subject too much, but you look at Porter, who is honestly, there's no one challenging him properly, and all you have to see is look at the minutes that Porter's put in. Like Porter is an absolutely fucking phenomenal athlete. To play he's played practically 80 minutes, and and almost he doesn't do an hour. He does the usual hour plus interest before he's taken off, and there's a discernible drop in quality when Porter's not in the pitch, and I think there's a little bit of that with Keenan at full back, is that we don't have Jimmy O'Brien is a fine player. I really like him, but as regards to to do what Keenan does, like Keenan is probably non-pariah at the moment. Like I mean, the guy does not make mistakes.
But unlike Tiernan O'Halloran, who unlike the under 12s in Galway know how to play the fucking whistle. He fucking stopped running after your man looking for a knock on.
Werner Koch,
I nearly threw me fucking beer at the television. Oh my god!
I hope we don't fall into the same trap we did with Johnny Sexton. Not filling in that gap. We need to address those 2 positions. because they are an issue. We've pointed it out, and it's glaringly there to be seen. So we need to,
Well, I'm sure, Mike, if we all know it, you could be fucking rest assured Andy Farrell and Co know it.
yeah, they have
They
to know it.
I
as well.
think the issue is, though, Peter, and I'm not sure. I do know that this is what Leinster are doing is, and this is former coach of mine, actually played with him. He basically came out and said, like, props are not made; they're born. Now, there's a policy at the moment with Leinster where they're basically taking back rowers who aren't quite cutting it as back rowers, and they're converting them into props.
Right.
You know, so it's a bone of contention. I know one of the lads who came through at Boyne, he was capped by Leinster and managed to get onto an Ireland squad at one stage at under 18, under 19 level. He got badly injured or whatever, and he's with Clontarf, and he's trying to he's been converted into a prop, tight head prop.
I tell you what, I'd bet a lot of money, by the way, that South Africa don't do anything like that.
Not at all.
No, South Africa have 10 times the size of pool of players.
They have, but I'm just saying they won't convert. Although having said that, they did it in the fucking World Cup with the hooker, didn't they? They had God knows. I mean, Razzie is capable of.
Fareed, in fairness, had played, has had experience throughout his career at hooker. It's just not at the level.
Yeah.
So I would say it's not quite the same.
Okay, folks, we're over the hour mark. Matt Boland, the game that you saw 20 minutes of, Leinster played Scarlets. Leinster winning that 54 points to 5. Absolutely great game for Leinster. It was like a training game. Scarlets were absolutely fucking shite.
Yeah,
indicative of where Welsh rugby is at the moment. Your thoughts on the whole thing?
They were worse than shite. They were just fucking awful. Like, I think they played for, well, I didn't see the first fucking 60 minutes. I saw the end 20. So based on that performance, Scarlets may have just stayed in the dressing rooms at fucking half time because they were nowhere to be seen.
Yeah. They played for 10 minutes. I'll give them 10 minutes when they scored their try. They played for 10 minutes.
Fair enough.
Give them that. You know, so.
I didn't see that part. I didn't see Scarlets play for 10 minutes. So.
Yeah, they turned up for 10 minutes. They were bad in those 10 minutes, but sure. Anyway, however, the game is 80 minutes long, not 10. Sorry, Mike, is that, or sorry, not Matt, is that all you want to, just any more comments?
Yeah, well, like, I mean, there was 20 minutes. It wasn't really much to put through more than that. Like, Leinster were obviously clearly way better than fucking Scarlets were. And I believe Prendergast had a great game. I just hearing afterwards, but I was impressed with fucking Osborne's tries there in the second half that I saw. So Leinster, look, you can only play what you're put up against, and sure, Scarlets didn't turn up. So yeah. It's like a training exercise, really.
Yeah, true. Okay. Mike Reedy.
It was a very impressive outing from Leinster for me. Really, I mean, they scored fabulous tries. Osborne is the proper real deal. 12 or 13, or even in the back row. Tommy O'Brien, love him. Like the look of that young gun as a scrum half.
Yeah, he was good actually.
And yeah. I was delighted, by the way, to see that Prendergast started the game. I thought, get him in there with the full team, you know, the big boys, and see how he does. And he fucking didn't look out of place. He did not look out of place. He took his try well. Ringrose was brilliant. Leinster hit their straps, and they're looking ominous now, to be honest. But it's a long season, I suppose, still to go. But I really like the look of that now. I mean, obviously Scarlets were fucking different. It's a completely different game they were playing. They weren't playing at all, in fact.
It was like Division 1 against Division 3 or something.
So
like that, wasn't it?
It was a complete mismatch. And do you know who's really knocking on the door now, by the way, is Max Deegan. He's knocking on the door, by the way. He does not have a bad game.
Great. No, but Max has been around for a few
I know, but
years. He rarely has a bad game.
He's another Ruddock, isn't he? He's there. He does that. he does all the basics right. He took 2 tries very well, both of them, and runs decent lines. He's a good player, but there's still a lot of players even ahead of him at Leinster. So it's going to be very
I was just
difficult.
about to say. I
Like,
totally
so-
agree with you. I was just about to say, Mike. He's in a position on the park where there's a lot of competition for.
Sure, it's just the same. Like, you know, the bloody positions we need players for, and we can't get them fucking tight, loose head prop. Like we'll
Yeah,
cope
true.
we'll cope with a full back end. People can fill in there, but you cannot fill in a fucking loose head prop.
Yeah.
So
Okay, James Grannon. Sorry, Mike. Just conscious of time.
that's all right. Go on, you go.
No,
Come on, James.
for me, I was just delighted to see Sam Prendergast starting the game. He was absolutely fabulous. I just love the swagger he has. He looks so comfortable all the time. He looks like he's just enjoying himself, and he was in the right place to score his own try and everything. And he's just, for me, he's just a joy to watch. Absolute joy to watch.
All right.
100%.
Okay. Peter Martin.
Yeah, look, it was a training run for Leinster. I thought Joe McCarthy could have done a bit better on his defence against Johnny Williams for their try. He'll be a bit disappointed for that. I'd say that'll be pointed out to him. Yeah, clip around the head. His position wasn't great. Like, there was nothing spectacular about that try from Williams. He just put the head down and just charged at a bit of a gap. That McCarthy kind of left. He didn't kind of fell off the tackle a little bit. Look, what else is to say? I just, you know, this is rinse and repeat stuff. Like, you know, for Leinster coming up against the Welsh sides, like, I don't think the Welsh crowds, Welsh fans really give a shit, because their national team manages to get the most out of themselves. So you just wonder at what point is this going to become detrimental to Leinster, really, more than anything else, because they're just pissing on the opposition. You know, even having Scott Penny and that coming off the bench is so strong again. The one thing I would say, it'd be interesting to see how this co-captaincy works as the season goes on. Like, Gary Ringrose is there.
Yeah.
Well, look, obviously,
That's a load of fucking bollocks.
and James Ryan. It'll just, when in the tighter games, the bigger games, how is that going to work if there's 3 points on offer on the board and Leinster are 4 points down or something? I'm not convinced by it.
Fucking reinvent the wheel.
I'm not sold on it at all.
Yeah,
Steaming
there's
pile of
no
dog
need
shite
for.
or whatever.
Yeah,
whatever
exactly.
your man
There's
said
no
earlier on.
fucking need for fucking co-captains. Would you get away the fuck?
Is
No need for- get rid of
Is Eddie Jones getting a job at Leinster or something? Because he's fucking
Would you ever
starting to
shut
adopt
up,
some of
you?
these fucking tactics.
Mike Reedy, our bard. Right, okay. We're way over time.
Mike Reedy or Jared.
We'll fly
So
through
what's-
the games coming up next weekend. James Grennan, I'll go to you first on this. Bulls versus Connacht. Connacht away.
It's a step too far, I think. I'd love to think we'd win that one, but I can't see it happening. It's at altitude. I think we're up against it.
So you're not confident. Is that what you're saying?
Jesus, James Grennan, what's happened to you?
I'm being realistic, Mike. Realistic.
Okay. All right. Matt Boland, Bulls versus Connacht. Connacht away.
Yeah, look, it's always hard to play at altitude. I don't know. I think Connacht they'll take a lot of that positive energy from the winning this week into next week, and I think they'll give them a fucking fair go. I think it's going to be closer than you reckon. I'm going to go with a fucking Connacht win. Fuck it, why not?
Ooh, okay. Peter Martin.
Well, the Bulls are the leading South African team after the opening number of matches. I don't think they weren't as affected by the World Cup as the others, so they're more settled. And look, they wouldn't be positioned they're in only if they have a settled squad. They're not disrupted by players retiring and so on. I would say it could be something like I think Connacht will take an awful lot from it, but again, as James said, it's at altitude, few injuries, depending on the type of team that's played. But I'd say if Connacht come away with a losing bonus point, that'll be a job well done, and I'd say they'd be quite happy.
Yeah. And I don't think James, what you were saying earlier, Bielam, I don't think he'd be fit. Didn't you say, was it Bielam you said was in a boot?
Yeah, he's wearing a protective boot this week, so I don't think he's going to be there. And I think we're missing one or two others as well.
Yeah, but he's a big loss, to the team. Mike Reedy, Bulls versus Connacht.
It's very difficult for Connacht. I'd love to see him do it, but altitude, Bulls are a very settled side, all right. You know what? In a strange way, if Connacht hadn't turned over the Sharks last week, the Bulls mightn't have been under guard as much, but they won't take them for granted. That's the thing now. The Bulls will not take them for granted. And do you know something? I'd love to see Connacht do it, but it's very, very difficult. I agree with Peter Martin. A losing bonus point would be a fantastic result.
Yeah, but I would agree. Right, Matt Boland. We leave the derby to last. Glasgow versus Ulster. Ulster are away.
Yeah, look, I mean, I don't know. I think Ulster will do that. Glasgow they're hit and miss at times. They weren't great at the weekend. What was their? I don't think did they win at the weekend, or what was the crack?
They did.
No idea.
Who were they playing?
They were playing.
No idea. I don't know what I was.
They were playing Benetton. They were playing Benetton. They beat Benetton by 26 points to 12. So I'm going to go with fucking Ulster on that one.
I'm just reading the comment there, lads. Just reading the comments. Connacht are doing secret altitude training on Crow Patrick. That's pretty good.
Very good. Okay. Let me see. What was it? Oh, Mike Reedy, Glasgow v Ulster.
I don't know, but I'd like to see Ulster do it, but I don't think so either. I think Glasgow
are at home. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Glasgow will beat them at Scotstoun, but we'll just have to wait. Ulster had a good result, to be fair, last week, so they're a little bit of momentum. They're after winning 2 games in a row, so who knows?
Okay. James Grant. Sorry, Mike. James Grant. I always seem to be cutting you off, Michael. It's not intentional.
That's all right. It's okay.
James Grant.
I think Ulster will shade this maybe by 3 to 5 points.
Okay. Peter Martin.
I would say a losing bonus point to Ulster.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Right. I think this is our third Irish Interpro. Is it? I think it is our third Irish Interpro. Yeah. Leinster, Peter Martin, I'll go to you first. Leinster are entertaining Munster in a game in the Aviva. How do you see this going?
Very hard to know, to be perfectly honest with you. Henshaw and Conan are allegedly are back in training and will be available for Saturday. I really don't know how it's going to pan out. We know what's happened last season. I think Leinster will select with a bit more respect. I think it'll be basically Ireland +1 in the Leinster team. Who the +1 will be is anyone's guess. But I think Ireland, I think that's what Leinster are going to do. They look to right the wrong of last season. But does that mean that Leinster will walk off with a bonus point win? Absolutely fucking not. I would say if there's 3 points, there's 3 points in it at the end. And I wouldn't even be able to tell you who it's going to be honest with you.
Right. Okay. James Grennan, your thoughts on this, the Irish Interpro?
I'm hoping that we see Crowley versus Prendergast, the two of them starting and given at least 60 minutes apiece and seeing how that goes. I think it's going to be a hugely entertaining game. I'd like to see Munster squeeze that one, but it's as Peter said, it could go. It could be 3 points either way.
All right. Okay, Mike Reedy.
Yeah, I agree with the boys. I don't see Prendergast starting. He may be involved, but I don't see him starting. I'd like to see him start, but I don't think he will. I think it's going to be.
Who do you think will start, Mike?
Ross Byrne. I think they'll have to. I think Leinster will have to go strong. I think they got caught out last year, and they're hurting from that, and they want to. They will want to put that right. But Munster is playing a very hard team to beat now, Munster. But it could go either way. I'd like to see it being a really good competitive game, and may the best team win. That's the way I see it. But
no, that's a cop out. Who's going to win? Who's going to win?
Who's going to win?
Right,
I'm going to go for Munster by 3. Munster by 3, seeing as I'm a Munster.
Munster by 3. Okay, right, Matt.
Yeah, look, like everybody else has said, this is going to be a very tight game. I think, given the result from the semi-finals last year, where Munster bet us by a point, I think that's going to be a little bit of a factor for the Leinster lads going into this game. That's going to be a motivating point for them to not lose at home to Munster. And saying that, like, Munster could easily win this game, but I'm going to go with Leinster win. A scrape.
I would. I don't think it'll be a scrape, lads. I think Munster will give Leinster a game for about 60 minutes. I think when the bench comes into play, I just think Leinster have too much. I just think Leinster will have a better bench. I think there'll be 10, 12 points in it. I think Leinster will win this in the end by about 10 or 12 points. I think, as was mentioned last year, Leinster won't want to repeat that, and that's how I think it'll go. So there you go.
So
that's
Peter, if we're going to the casino the weekend, we're betting on red then.
Mike Reedy, there's someone calling you out
there
there
you
in
go.
the comments.
You know.
Someone's calling you out there, Mike, on the comments. Get off the fence, Mike, before you get a splinter on your arse.
Nah, I'm
right, lads. That's right. We're way over time. This is one of our longest ones because initial technical issues. But listen, thanks to Matt Boland, Mike Reedy, James Grennan, and Peter Martin, as always. Thank you, gentlemen, and to Romain, who unfortunately we couldn't continue with because I couldn't hear him and he was freezing. And if you can't hear someone, sure, there's no point in going on. But thank you, Romain. We will try and have you on again because we did enjoy the chat with you when you were on. So thank you very much. Gentlemen, good night and take care. And we'll talk next week. See you all.
Take care.
Good night,
Good
gentlemen.
luck.
Well,
Always a pleasure.